Hi, welcome back to Plus This. I'm Kathy Deach.
And I am Eva Tingley. Did you miss us from last week, guys?
Did you? Maybe kind of, sort of.
We missed you, but we have a really good show for you guys.
Yes. I love comics.
Me too.
I'm just gonna
because
say
I love
that.
to laugh.
You really do. You have like a lot of comic friends.
I do, and I love to laugh. I think that's probably why, because I'm like an easy laugh. Like I am like a super laugher. Like I find everything funny. So I'm always like
You're the person they want to
yes,
have
yeah,
in the house.
they do.
Yeah,
they're the person that
too.
like Peter is the opposite. Peter like goes like, and I'm like, that was funny. He's like, yeah, it was. I'm like, but you didn't laugh. And he'll be like, it's funny though.
Yeah, her
I'm
husband Peter is I could see him being a hard nut.
He's
to crack.
like, he's not like a laugh out loud. Like he's like, I'm laughing, like it's funny, but I'm
Yeah.
not like a laugh out louder.
Yeah,
he's
I
not a
am
laugh out
too.
louder. I'm a laugh out louder.
Big mouth. I'm a big mouth. But also, if I'm not liking it, I'm just as bad.
Yeah, I went to go see Bill Maher once, and was in the front row, and he was like, whoever laughs the loudest is gonna get this poster, and I'm like, I'm winning this poster because I'm a loud laugher. And sure enough, I got it.
But you're also a winner, and that's
I am a
like,
winner.
You're like a winner.
That is true. That is true. That's very true. Last week we went to my mom's friend who's deaf and blind, had a birthday party, and they had like centerpieces that you could win. And at my table, I was like, I'm going to win it. And they're like, no. I was like, yeah, I'm going to win it. I'm like, I don't even need it. I don't even need it. I don't want it, but I'm going to win it.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, probably not. And sure enough, I won.
You do. But we have to talk about our guest is comedian.
Yes.
Danielle Perez.
Danielle Perez. You may have famously known her from being on The Price is Right, which is hilarious. We'll get to that later.
Yes.
We're going to talk about that more.
And then as the ripple effect happens on Jimmy Kimmel.
On Jimmy Kimmel, yeah.
After that. I
Hilarious.
can't wait for that story. I met her at a storytelling show, and it was awesome. What was great about it was that I got off a plane like 3 hours before and like showered and ran. It was up the street from me and just like ran to it. And they were like, "You're a theater girl. Do you want to be first?" And I was like, "Sure." So I was first, but then I didn't have to worry about it. So I was just like eating tacos and listening to everybody else. It was amazing. So it
is the best to go first. I feel like it is.
I mean, that's the way I like it.
I like to go first because otherwise I get in my head. I'm like, oh, that person was good. I get way too much in my head.
It is hard to pay attention.
Yeah.
But she was brilliant then, and she'll be brilliant when you guys meet her in a second.
When you guys meet her,
you're gonna have to wait and see. So one of my favorite pop culture things ever happened this week. There was a rumor that Lady Gaga was in consideration for the live action Little Mermaid as Ursula,
which I'm kind of like. I mean, it's not that I don't love Lady Gaga. I love Lady Gaga, but like, really, there's like one fat role, and like. It's going to go to Lady Gaga?
I think probably what they would
mad about
be
it.
doing, which is what they did in the Broadway show, was have someone slim wear a crazy, weird costume. And they probably would do that with her. I'm just thinking. So then she can be herself when she changes.
When she changes into the dark haired Ariel?
Spoilers.
If you've never seen The Little Mermaid.
Which really, if you think about it, she's not even herself. She's supposed to have Ariel's voice.
Right.
So really, she'd be lip syncing to someone else's voice anyway as skinny. So why not have a fat person actually sing the Ursula song? It just doesn't make any sense.
Why can't the sexy girl, why couldn't Ariel be Little Chub?
I know.
Too.
I know. That's
because
what I
you know
said.
what? It's sexy. Like, why couldn't it?
My favorite thing, though, was that Lizzo, of course, came in and swooped and was like, yo, you know who needs to be Ursula? And then she's like, here's my audition tape. And it was one of her bye bitch where she like pulls away. And it like went viral. And it got picked up by Teen Vogue, which obviously means that it meant something.
Yeah. Because it was picked up by Teen Vogue, guys.
Yeah, they're serious.
They're very serious these days.
They're serious journalists now.
They are.
Kicking Vogue's ass for a second.
They were.
I think Vogue is finally catching up.
I think so too. I got to turn this off of me. Sorry.
Okay, you can put it on.
I'm like a real freezing.
We have fans. Speaking of, we have fans like that.
Like
Beyonce, and sometimes they go in between us, and sometimes
it makes your nose run, and you're like, this is not good.
If you're not seeing the visual, we're sorry.
Yeah,
you're missing out.
You're missing out because if you're listening on the podcast, so sorry.
You might want to go check out this moment at like minute 8. Okay, wait. So speaking of serious journalists,
serious journalism.
I love when the New York Times is like getting on board with fat culture. It really makes me happy. And it doesn't happen that often.
It's a big deal, yeah.
And they always have like some slant on it. But this was like pretty much legit, like just praising this woman for how amazing she is, and BT dubs she is. I've read her first book, Weight Watchers, I think it's called. WAIT. Weight Watchers, yeah. And it was her name is Haley Morris Cafiero, and she was taking pictures of her in Times Square, which she thought were self-portraits, and she kept catching people in the background like giving her dirty looks, and like really, she's a fat woman, and like some of them were like really bad. Like a police officer like had his like, well, that actually was kind of a fun one, but pretended to put his hat on her hair, so it like caught. Like she might not have noticed him doing that, but like he totally walked by her and like had his was like faked out on her head. Anyway, so she started there, and then because she started to become like a more well-known photographer, she started to get like crazy hate comments. Of course,
because people have nothing better to do.
God forbid. So
sorry, that deserved a hair flip.
No. So what's amazing is that she took it. And she said, all right, I'm going to find like the juiciest comments and like the things that maybe even seem the darkest. I'm going to go really try to find this person. And a lot of times she said it wasn't even that hard. I mean, that's what's kind of crazy is that she found them pretty easily and then picked a moment from their life and plays and reenacts it and plays them. So
amazing.
She like there's one photo that's incredible of she's in like this blow up bodybuilder suit, and it was like a 70-year-old bodybuilder, and like, you know, she wrote like what he said about her like somewhere in the background, and the text is always really clever. Like sometimes it's on her dress. There was one girl who was like this big cosplay girl who was like really, really mean, and she wrote what she said to her on her dress, like in like a cosplay pose. I mean, she's kind of a genius.
She's kind of fierce. You know what though? Because I feel like when people can see actually their words and how, like, when you see it or you like feel it, then you're like, oh, like, because I think people are just behind their phones or behind their computer, just like clacking away, and they're not really thinking about like that's a person.
Yeah, there have been studies about the lack of empathy.
Sorry, I just have to pause here for a second because your hair looks amazing.
Oh my God, please
and I can't stop staring at it.
Get a close up. Get a close up. Get a close up. It's so shiny.
It's so shiny, and like your highlights look amazing.
Thanks,
I just can't. I just can't. Sorry, guys.
We have a great sponsor, Linda Cummins, and you can go see her.
Yes,
on La
you should go see her.
Right, like down the street from the Beverly Center.
Yeah, it's like it's just south of Santa Monica, and
it's an aromatherapy salon, so you don't walk out smelling like
chemicals.
Nasty chemicals.
You don't even smell a chemical when you go in there.
No. When you go in there, it smells like a spa.
Yeah.
It's the most amazing thing ever. And even when they're on your head, they smell good.
Yeah.
And age is happening. It's real. And she has really given me a highlight to cover up my grays that are coming in.
I got to tell you, I can't stop staring at it.
Thank you.
Your hair, you know that like meme that's like, it's like shows this amazing hair, and it's like, this is what you want to tell your hairstylist you want your hair to look like, and then he like pulls back and it's like a dog's ear. But that's like what your hair looks like. It's like that perfect.
Are you saying I have silky ears?
You have like silky, highlighted, beautiful hair. I'm just saying.
Thank you. It's the only time I was telling her, I was like, I haven't touched a blow dryer to this hair in forever.
I know.
Yeah. And she was like, that's why it's so healthy. I was like, yeah, but also you do it better and my arms get tired. Because I'm really lazy, guys.
It's hard to blow dry a lot of hair.
I know. When you have
a lot
I
of
need to get
hair.
I know. She got in there today too. I was like, please help a sister out.
Okay, now we can go back to the bullying.
So now she has this. Her art exhibit is called The Bully Pulpit. Her new book, and she has on her Instagram. It's H Morris Cafiero, Cafiero, like Fiero from Wicked. It's the 15th anniversary. OMG, they're having like a television special.
Are you going to be on it?
No, I'm here. I was here. They filmed it in New York.
Oh.
No, they filmed like a show, Eva. Like They like tricked out the theater and like shot a whole show. It was crazy.
Did they even ask you? They should have asked you.
It's 15 years old. There have been 8 million people who've been on it.
I know, but you're the OG.
Oh, whatever. They brought me back for the 10th, and that was hilarious because I was late to the show. And I ended up having...
That's why they didn't ask you back. They're like, this bitch doesn't know how to use a clock.
They gave me fifth row. They gave me fifth row center seats, and I had to climb over like so many people in the middle of like loathing this song, and everyone was mad until they saw it was me, and they just started laughing because of course I knew everybody. It's everyone I knew they put there. Anyway, my point is that no, but it's awesome, and I'm going to support, and I'm going to watch TV. I think they're doing it. I'm going to watch TV. I'm going to watch TV. I'm going to watch the thing on TV. I'm going to clap for my friends, and I think that they are doing like a big like get out the vote thing too, which is really cool.
Good.
Yeah, but let's go back to Bully Puppet because she's amazing. So Haley, hopefully we'll meet her one day. Has this? She has the thing going on in San Francisco right now. I wish I could go and see it. So they're like big
road trip
photos.
Plus this road trip.
Don't even
that would
tempt
be fun.
Me. That's all I want to do is like go somewhere else.
Stupid school killing me.
I know.
Ruining my life.
Schools
making my life better.
Schools for me too, making my coin, but it never ends in December.
Never ends. Yeah.
So I want to quote the New York
quote.
Times a little bit because it was awesome. It all started 8 years ago when Haley Mars Cafiero was taking self-portraits in Times Square, lost in the clutter, cacophony, and crowds, or so she thought. As she developed her film, so she did it on like actual film, she discovered that even in the chaos of the country's busiest street, passers-by had noticed her, and none too kindly. And then the Bully Pulpit is both a product of social media and parody of its worst impulses. It's her response to the tens of thousands of negative remarks she received in emails, blog posts, websites, social media, and comments from all over the world.
Wow.
That's, I mean, really like...
So right now you can see, if you're watching, you can see some of the photos on the screen, but like if you're listening, then you're gonna have to go look that up your own self.
She's really, and she also like it's just brilliant satire. She's just it like you take the piss out of someone, right? And like somehow that makes maybe people think about their life.
You hope because I don't know, people are just kind of mean. They have hard hearts. People have hard hearts.
They are, but I think like what you were saying. Oh, that's what we were about to talk about, and then you were talking about my hair, which I love, by the way. I'm not mad about that at all. But they're doing these studies about empathy and about how kids who deal with screens are having trouble empathizing. Like when they say a mean thing, they're not really taking in the feelings of somebody else.
Right.
And when they're just like writing mean things, like you don't get the reaction from someone. You like imagine a person having a reaction to you, but it's not probably ever really what the actual reaction is. So when you say a mean thing and learn it as a kid, that you watch someone get hurt, your empathy kicks in.
Yeah, and then you're like,
so there is like an empathy problem. I think you're right. And I think that's why people are, really going on phone diets, and it's not the worst thing in the world.
It's really not.
Yeah.
I mean, my sister doesn't let her kids play on the phone during the week.
Yeah.
They're only allowed screen time on the weekends.
I mean, it's...
And like 2 hours a day, and that's it.
Yeah. That's because it does a lot to your brain, too. It's crazy.
It really does. We've actually witnessed them... Like we call them like they go into like fiend mode where they're like they can't even like pay attention. They like can't even. They're just like on their phone and they're just like playing this game. And then like afterwards, when you're like, okay, put it down, we have to go do something. Like their attitude has changed towards the world because I don't know what it is, but like especially the games that they are specifically playing, they are just I don't know. It changes them in some way.
Yeah, I think that, where we put our attention obviously matters.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, even like the reverse is true too. You can really get a lot of amazing things into your eyeballs. We had a guy on Twitter this week. I can't believe this isn't on the run of show. Totally meant to talk to you about this. Sorry about it, guys. This is cold. This is cold, a cold, hot topic.
I have no idea what we're going to talk about now.
I'm going to break it down real good.
Oh, wait, I can't do Kathy's noise.
I can't right now because my mouth is so dry. So CW is doing this beautiful diversity campaign where like they're showing all of the different colors of people that are on their show and genders.
On all of their shows?
On
across
all of their
shows?
Okay. And there's not one fat person. Not one plus size person. And a guy on Twitter.
I've been noticing that on a lot of ads, though. Like they're doing that like diversity campaign.
Look how diversity
Look
we
at how
are.
diverse we are.
Yeah.
And look at how diversity we are. Look at how diversity we are. And then there's not a fat person.
Yeah.
And there's not like different abled bodies or anything.
Yeah.
It's like just skin type colors.
And beautiful, beautiful,
Oh,
beautiful.
beautiful. Like beautiful in the like sense of European
Yes.
features.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah.
And thinness as
Thin,
well, European
yeah.
thinness. But I wrote, so I retweeted it. I wrote not one fat person though. And then Sarai Walker retweeted it. So I started to get all this attention. And this one guy was like, well, the Hispanic girl in the beginning, is she Hollywood fat? No, this is the lead of Jane the Virgin, Gina Rodriguez, who is a
Size 6.
and an award-winning actress.
Yeah.
Like, she's not just the Hispanic woman.
Yeah.
So I wrote back very nicely.
Did you?
And
Oh,
I
nicely?
literally wrote like
didn't Delco him out?
hashtag gentle suggestion. I basically was like, well, Hollywood fat's not fat. I was like, first of all, and she's maybe a size 4, maybe, and she's wearing a Billy Wee shirt. So maybe you want to go and like train your eye to see other things in the world. So you're not tricked into thinking that's only what people look like, and
Right.
that Gina Rodriguez was in any way a plus size woman. Like that's how I forget, because we've been so saturating ourselves,
right.
like trying to see ourselves and other people who look like us. I've been so active in that I literally forget the rest of the world isn't like that anymore. Which is
they're
great,
not at all.
Which is like a great thing about all of these things, social media. But it's also like, let's get with the program. It's time. I'm just all sick of it. Whatever.
Kathy is going to DC. She's going to become a lobbyist.
Starting in March. Fat March.
Fat March.
Oh my God. Million Fat March.
Million. Well, maybe, yeah, there probably is a million fat women march.
There's millions of fat women.
Yeah.
Millions of us. I think we
true.
need to bring Danielle on.
I think so
to
too.
talk about all
my
this.
brain's all. We need to take a break.
just broke it.
I know, my brain is broken.
Just broke even. Sorry, guys.
Sorry.
We'll come back with Danielle Perez right after this. Oh my God.
You know that 67% of American women are size 14 and above.
You mean they look like this?
Yeah, girl.
So then where are we in television and film?
And where are we in fashion magazines and clothing stores?
Yeah.
So we want to help out entertainment and fashion and media. Catch the F up.
Topics get hot. We want to hear what y'all have to say.
And they will get hot.
Absolutely
I have
true.
a question for you. It's kind of like a dirty little one. So if you had to do a love scene with somebody else famous, who would it be?
Oscar Isaac.
Oh, love how I asked you that and you had an answer like right away.
We sang, we laughed, we cried. We
You
actually
gotta go
didn't cry.
back. No, we didn't cry.
We didn't cry.
Everybody should be able to be seen in. I mean, maybe not every single campaign, but let's try to include it in as many campaigns as we can.
Witchy poo, we told you.
Just putting it
We're
in
gonna
the cauldron for
meditate. We're
you.
gonna get the candles.
Yeah.
People are having sex with us. We need to show that we're like part of this society, and being sexual is part of that.
Absolutely.
So tough titty, you're fucking uncomfortable.
Watch a fat girl love herself.
Applause, applause,
But just us.
applause.
Just us.
Just us applauding.
Applauding. Thanks. So good.
Plus this.
Kurt is shouting at us every breakdown. He's like, 20 seconds.
He has amazing.
10 seconds!
He has amazing soundproof.
Yeah, ear things on, so he's shouting at us.
So he
and
doesn't know that it's not a football field.
I know,
but
we're right here.
But it tickles us.
We're in the
so
same room. And I wish I could show him right now because his face is so red.
We'll get him. We'll get him one of these
Yes.
days. So guys, we have writer, stand up, all around hilarious lady. Danielle Perez is here. Yes! Here it is. Hi.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Oh my God.
You
I'm
are
so glad we made
hilarious.
it happen.
I just want to tell you that. I'm sure you've heard it before.
Thank you. No, I appreciate it. It's always,
You always want to hear what your talents
compliments
are.
are good.
Praise is good. Praise is good.
And we were just talking in the green room, and you said you've only been doing this for 4 years.
Yes.
Which in a comic's life is actually not that long.
No,
Yeah.
I'm a baby. I'm learning to crawl.
So what was the
You're
thing?
a toddler. You're like
Right, it's like-
Exactly.
teetering.
Exactly. What was the thing that made you say, okay, I need to do this?
I was hanging out with my best friend. She was an actress trying to do theater, RE theater in Los Angeles, and her roommate was a comic, and so we started going to a bunch of his shows. By the third one, I was like, I can do this. This doesn't look hard. I'm funnier than you. So I did. I went to open mics, and Madison went with me, and I completely fell in love. I went to my first open mic at this coffee shop in West Hollywood. It's not there anymore, Rock Paper, but I did 5 minutes, and I was like, oh my God, I love this.
You're like,
I
I'm
never want to
hooked.
not do this.
I am 100%
Now,
hooked.
were you a big writer? Were you like, I have to write everything down kind of comic? Or at first were you just like winging it?
Well, at first it was like a mixture of both. Like I was writing a lot. Also too, I mean, I started comedy when I was 30. So it's like I lived a life. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I don't know. Sometimes you see like these 16-year-olds and it's like, what are you going to talk to me about Halloween Horror Nights? Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
But
You have no life experience. What's going to happen here?
but I would just like pick topics or things that I thought were like interesting or funny about my life and just like write on them and try. Like that first year it was just like so many things because all the stuff from my life, right? Like all the stories that I would tell and things that were funny were coming out. So now it's, you know, I gotta think more. I gotta write more.
Your comedy is really dark.
Yeah.
Like you have like a, not dark is right. It's like it's kind of like punches you in the face.
Yeah.
I
you
like
know what I mean?
that.
It cuts to the bone is what I
Yeah,
was going to say.
yeah.
You just like get right to it. Like you don't like mince words about shit. You're just like, oh, by the way, this. Sorry about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's very, I love it.
No, I love it.
my
I just
alley.
wonder if there's ever any times where people are just like so shocked that they don't even laugh.
For sure. I mean, there are people that are like, I did a show. I was in Oakland on Wednesday, and this woman was just like the whole time. And I was like, it's okay. Don't worry. You can I appreciate that you're doing Kegel exercises. Like, wow, I'm working. You know, everyone, we all are on journeys, and I'm glad that's yours right now.
So we should tell, just in case someone is just watching.
Yeah, just watching and doesn't
that
know.
you are in a wheelchair.
I am. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This is what a woman in a wheelchair looks like.
Exactly. Work. And,
Gorgeous.
stunning, basically. And can you tell us the story about being on The Price is Right?
Sure.
Oh my gosh.
So the first year I started comedy, one of my good friends, also comedian Wendy Starling, she was moving to New York. She wanted to do all these LA things, so she wanted to go to The Price is Right. And I was like, all right, I'll go with you. And I went to the taping, and I was the first name called down to contestants row. And I was close every single time they brought out an item. I was always close, but never close enough to get on stage. Literally the last chance, the very last game, we had to play it twice. Everyone overbid. And so we had to play the game twice. I get on stage, and I am playing for...
Wait, what is the thing that you win for that?
Okay, I won like an iPad and like a Nike Fit Band.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So that was sure.
iPad is great.
Yeah, I took, I was like, I like an iPad.
Yeah.
And then they, open the curtain, and I am playing for a treadmill and a walk-in sauna. And the audience was like,
It really, you guys have to go look at
Drew,
it.
And Drew Carey's kind of like,
Drew was just like,
he doesn't
business
even,
as usual.
yeah, totally.
He's like, I gotta, we gotta get
But
in,
you
get
were
out.
like, you were so great about it. Like you were just like so excited. Like you didn't even like it almost like didn't phase you.
I was like, I see you watch
You were
the
like,
tape.
these are great prizes.
I was like, they look so expensive. Because it's like, what are you gonna you do with a treadmill and a walking? So like, they're just like the dumbest things. And I was like, I was just excited to be there. I mean, truly though, if you've been to like a television taping, it's like they deprive you of food and water. There's no windows. It's just like you're being rewarded for kind of how much of a lunatic you behave.
Right. Yes.
They want you to just dance like a monkey.
Right. Yeah.
So I was just like, just like, you know, they're playing Black Eyed Peas from like 5 years ago. Like I just was ready. I beat out all the old people to get on stage. I was excited.
Yeah.
And, well, I will say that we have the clip on our Facebook page. You have to go check
you
it
have
out
to go watch it
because
because
the
it is
audience
amazing.
gasping is kind of
it's really wonderful. And the announcer going a treadmill and a walking. It's like, you know, he just did not want to say those words.
Right.
And Drew just like acting like business. Everyone was acting like it was business.
But
as
it would have been
usual.
awesome if he was just like in a wheel-in sauna. Like, why couldn't you wheel in there?
Because it wasn't wide enough. It was like
really?
It was like it's not it's a sauna like those heat lamps, those heat lockers, not like a spa, like a jacuzzi. It was like one of those like they're made out of wood and then it has all those heat lamps in it. It's like it's like weird. It's like I don't know
like who actually would buy that.
I don't understand. Like I don't know.
No, that's
someone
not
in like
fun.
Wisconsin or something.
Oh, maybe
Do you
it
know
was
what
just
I
real
mean?
cold.
Maybe my sister in Minnesota.
Yeah, your sister.
It's
Hold up. So you won it.
So I won. I did win. I won my showcase.
You won the showcase?
No. Well, that's my showcase. Not the showcase showdown, but that was my showcase. That I won.
Okay.
And then I got to spin the wheel, and I hit like, I think I hit like 75 or 80. I think I hit 85.
I just have to ask you: is the wheel super heavy?
It is pretty heavy, and I probably should have locked my wheelchair wheels.
Oh no!
Before I spun it to get more leverage, but I
Right.
didn't know how heavy it was.
No.
And Drew was like, "Do you want me to spin for you?" And I was like, "No."
You were like, no.
I was like, "This is my time to shine. You're here every day.
Yeah.
When am I gonna get to spin this
You're
wheel?"
like, no,
again?"
you don't get to spin it for me.
Yeah, I was like, "No, I'm gonna spin the wheel." And then I just honestly, like at that point, it was like I was on stage, I won my treadmill and walking sauna. Like I kind of didn't care. I didn't even like really think about what I was doing by spinning the wheel because I hit 85 and I was like, I'll spin again. Like, fuck it, when am I going to spin this wheel again? And I'm sure everyone on who watches Price is Right was like, no, what are you doing?
They're like, no, you have 85.
I just wanted to spin into one. But it's like then the like a showcase showdown was for like a boat. And it's like, I already don't know what I'm going to do with a fucking treadmill. What am I going to do with a boat?
Yeah.
You know? A
You
party
sell
boat.
it. You sell
It's
it.
too
You
much.
sell it, and you get all the money.
Yeah, you can. I mean, my friend won a car on it, and
She sold her
it.
car?
Yeah, and sold the car.
What kind of car did she win?
Yeah, people
I
do that all the
forget,
time. My
but it
friend
was
won
good.
a Mini Cooper. Sold it back and got
Cash prize.
she got a different car.
Oh, got a different car.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
he was like, "What am I going to do? My family's in Alabama. I'm in New York. I don't need this. I'm not going to do this." But he got the money. He got money.
Yeah.
You can't be mad about that. So then, hold up. So now Jimmy Kimmel picks it up.
Well, no, you tweeted the next day or when it came out.
So yeah, when it came out, because like we shot that episode like in March, and I didn't know when it was going to air, and it was like, oh, it'll air.
and then
when
your
it
friend in
airs.
Macedonia is like, oh my gosh.
So yeah,
I saw you.
It comes out like I get an email that it comes out. It comes out on Cinco de Mayo of all days, and I go, like honestly, like the big story that night was like I hooked up with a dude. I was real excited about that. But I get home and my roommate's like, Price is Right. And I was like, oh yeah, let's watch it together. And I'm like recording it on my cell phone to like put on Instagram. I just really thought it was gonna be like this funny, silly thing. The LA comics are gonna think it's hilarious. And like I went online and it was insane. All kinds of people tweeting at me, already articles, because I forgot, because we're on the West Coast,
Right.
that this has already been airing, like 3 hours ago.
Right.
It aired on the East Coast, and people were already losing their minds.
Like before you had even seen it.
Yeah, and so I was
Wow.
like, "What?" Yeah, my friend from Macedonia called because she was in the Peace Corps, and like she found out about it, and like I took a screen cap of the picture, and it's like me just like
I know you're like,
Like,
what's
when they
happening right
showed me
now?
the prizes,
It's
it's like
amazing.
when you win a treadmill on national television but have no fee. And like,
Yeah.
that tweet got picked up, and it was just like,
And like Drew tweeted you back, right?
I think maybe.
Yeah, he
Well,
did.
did he?
Well, that's what Jimmy Kimmel said. I'm just saying.
I'll say this: CBS was none too happy.
Oh, really?
Oh.
CBS, I don't think anticipated it would be what it ended up being. And I had gotten already phone calls from like People Magazine, from BBC, CNN. Kimmel's people contacted me right away the day that it happened to lock me in for the next night.
Oh.
And he announced it on his show, like, tomorrow we're going to have the girl that won the treadmill from The Price is Right. By the time CBS called, like, so it seems like your episode's getting a lot of traction. I'm like, oh my God, it is! Like, it's amazing. I've been giving interviews. Like, this is incredible. And she's like, well, let us know if you need anything. But, like, they didn't, like...
You're like, yeah, I need $10,000.
They, like, they didn't contact me again until like the evening, like, oh, can you do the Insider? And I was like, okay. So but then that next day I'm like getting ready to like leave to go to CBS for the Insider. There were paparazzi at my house.
What?
People from Entertainment Tonight came to my front door pretending to be the Insider. Like, oh, we just changed the location. Like, my roommate answered it and let them into the living room. And I was in the bathroom and I'm like calling the CBS lady like, what's going on? And she's like, no, I told them not to contact you. I told them you were already doing the Insider. And I was like, oh my God. So like my roommate had to kick them out. They set up their
my God,
they
this
set
is
up across the
insane.
street with their tripod and everything like that. And my roommate's like, should I get an umbrella? I'm like, I'm not Britney Spears. I literally just want a treadmill. Like, what is going on? So like the Uber arrives and she's like seeing this commotion and like the like camera people across the street and she's like, is this like normal? And
You're like, yeah, this is my life.
This
My
is
everyday
just
life.
That
That is such a
bizarre.
trip.
Totally
So
not.
you navigated all of that by yourself.
Totally. Yeah. And
You
so
had
then
no help.
I got to CBS, to the Insider. And then after that, she was like, oh, can you do Corden? And I was like, sure, I'd love to. And she's like, okay, so it's today. And I was like, oh, I'm doing Kimmel tonight. And her face, she was not happy.
Oh, really?
Her face was like,
Well, whose fault is that?
Yeah.
And then she's like, well, this happened on CBS and we want to keep it in the family. And I was like, I'm a stand-up comedian and this is Jimmy Kimmel Live. And then when she kind of was like unsympathetic in the eyes, I was
Yeah.
like, he announced it on his show last night. And she was like, and then she like went away on her phone. And then she came back.
Because she's in trouble.
I
You
don't
want to know
know,
why she wasn't happy? Because she's in trouble. Because she's busted. She was on top of it. They need to be on top of it, CBS. CBS, get your shit together.
Be on top of
Leave
it.
our friend Danielle alone.
Be on top of it. But yeah, she came back and I was like, so can I do Corden? She's like, no. I was like, okay.
Obviously, it's a thing in a
So yeah, but I did Kimmel, and I mean their producers didn't tell me anything. They were like, okay, just like be here at this time.
Well, they gave you a freaking cruise.
Well, they didn't tell. Like, no, I didn't know anything. They
And
didn't
a jar of
They didn't
peanut
give
butter.
me hair. They didn't give me makeup. They didn't give me anything.
Wait, Kimmel didn't?
Nothing. They
Oh.
just said show up at this time, and I was like, okay. And so I was like, I gotta get.
But you had like beat your face. Like you looked good.
Yeah, I
Gorgeous.
got my friend. I brought, like my roommate Juan, gay fashion designer. My best friend Madison, who does
Like
comedy
you were wearing
with me.
a great sequin dress.
I
or-
got that's
yeah,
all
you
the
looked
stuff. I was like, I'm
amazing.
gonna be on Kimmel. I was like, I need to grab my sequin dress. We need all the makeup we can. We got to go to the salon really quickly. We got to get it all together. But no directed, nothing. They were like, I was like, so is there anything I need to look at or practice? Or like, no, we're just gonna open the doors and you just roll to Jimmy. And I was like, okay. And then just roll to Jimmy.
I know.
And I
roll
was like,
to Jimmy. Just roll.
just
to
roll
Jimmy.
to Jimmy. He had a little folding chair sat next to
yeah,
me.
yeah.
And then he just interviewed me, and it was amazing.
I'm sorry, you were interviewed by Jimmy Kimmel.
It was pretty incredible. In hindsight, it's Literally, I was like 6 months into comedy. I just was like a person, just like going back and forth with him, cracking jokes. And like, he asked me to, guess the price of peanut butter. And then I guessed wrong.
Like, no, he was like, that's close enough. It's close enough.
It's close enough. And then he's like, what did she win? It's like announcer voice. And they have like the models.
Yeah, they're like totally like.
Wheelchair accessible cruise with wheelchair accessible accommodations, wheelchair accessible pool and sauna, wheelchair accessible dining hall. It was it was so funny.
I know.
It was so great.
God
Did
bless
you go on the
them.
cruise?
I am terrible. I didn't.
You didn't go?
I forgot. I mean, not forgot. I got super. I mean, I got very busy, but also
Ill, Danielle.
and this
you
is
got
like,
busy.
and this is terrible.
Wait,
I
did
don't
it expire?
like cruises.
You don't like water.
She doesn't like
She didn't go
cruises.
with
You
some
could have given me
water.
the cruise.
I could. Well, I kept saying, and this is the thing I kept saying. I was like, I'm gonna auction off the treadmill and the cruise at a charity show. I was like, kept saying I was gonna do that, and then I just never got it together.
Does everything
it expire?
Technically, but like, I feel like we can get Jimmy
We'll
to
figure
we'll
that
figure it
out. We're gonna figure
You are
it
Eva's
out.
so
I'm
upset.
really
No.
upset.
I feel like we can
because
figure it
first of
out.
all, I
Loves
love
free
free
things.
things. I am like a gypsy. I love free things. If there's something free and it says take one, I'm taking 52. I'm just saying, like, I love free things, and it makes me really upset that you said.
I love free, but I feel like we can get it to not expire. I mean, well, here's the thing also, too. It's like I'm good at comedy now. So I can put on a show at some place, like an establishment like the Improv, and like potentially
that's
have like
lovely.
good comedians on it that Jimmy Kimmel would like to be involved. Maybe
Maybe.
Drew would like to be involved.
Maybe
Maybe
Jimmy Kimmel, do you want to be involved?
Come.
I think
I
that
still
doing
have
a
the
charity thing is
treadmill. It's in a
awesome.
box in my living room.
You still have the treadmill.
It's in a box in my living room.
Yes, it's her low shelf. I saw a little clip with her
Oh
in it
my
that it's her low
God.
shelf.
I
my
have.
God.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Oh my God, we spent an entire segment talking about this. I'm so excited.
It's the best.
We're gonna
It's the best.
we're
We
gonna
have to
take
a
another
little-
tiny break.
take another
you
tiny
definitely need
break.
all the water after
Yes,
telling
I
us that
definitely
amazing
need water
saga
because my mouth is very dry.
from cackling,
gape.
just from
from cackling, from
being a gape for
cackling
sure.
and definitely being like, oh, you didn't take your cruise.
yeah.
I'm very upset.
Well, I'm more codfish over the stuff that the CBS employee did to you.
Okay.
I'm really mad at them.
We're gonna take a break. We will be
We'll
right
go
back.
and plus this. Plus this.
Promotional consideration brought to you by Melissa Massey. Custom clothing isn't exclusively for the rich and famous. Melissa Massey is custom-made clothing for everyday wear. A unique combination of custom tailoring and deluxe fabrics that is well made and fit for every size and frame. Made in LA, sold in LA, and online at melissamassey.com. It's not the natural beauty products in your life, but the life in your natural beauty products. Linda Kammen's Aromatherapy Salon, lindakamens.com, for happier, healthier living. Promotional consideration provided by Scrubs Body, a woman-owned business with scrubs so natural they're good for your public parts and your private parts. Scrubsbody.com.
Plus this.
Plus
We're
this.
back
Plus
with Danielle
this.
Perez on Plus This. We told you we were going to laugh, y'all. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, my face kind of hurts a little bit. From
My
just-
cheeks are a little bit
My
like,
cheeks are a little tight. You're giving us like a
Getting a
facelift.
little workout.
Yeah, the facelift
It's
we
good.
need.
It's good.
So you were in it's on technically Refinery 29.
Yes.
The photos are unbelievable.
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
How beautiful
Thank
is
you.
that?
Emily Burrell
That bathing
shot them.
suit. You're in a bathing suit, right?
I am.
I'm like, I'm feeling like I'm like not remembering the right thing. I'm like, am I remembering that? It's gorgeous.
I think it's Gabby Fresh.
Yes, that's
Gabby
what
She does good work.
She does. She does. Talk to us about how that happened.
That was really cool. So when all the Price is Right stuff went down, they reached out and they interviewed me, and that was it was a really cool interview, and they did a little write up, and so they have a Take Back the Beach campaign they do every year, and it's just about, you know, being a woman and celebrating your body and going out. And how do you do summer, right? How do you kind of deal with there's always this hype about like a beach body and like, what is a beach body? And it's like, well, what about people that just like go
Or
out?
it's just your body.
It's your body. That's what it is. So they came up with this idea that they wanted to interview and photograph disabled people or disabled women and ask them how they go to the beach and how that works for them with their disabilities. So they interviewed me and we talked about the beach and sand and how it sucks and with a wheelchair.
Oh, sure.
How I like a pool.
But you weren't always in a wheelchair.
I was not. I had an accident when I was 20. I was run over by a Muni streetcar.
dear.
So the streetcar, not a trolley. People are like, it's like I can outwheel a trolley. Like, but the streetcar, it's the metro that goes above ground and below ground, similar to a subway train. So I was run over by that, and I lost both of my feet. So I'm a bilateral below the knee amputee, but I use a wheelchair.
How was that time of your life?
That was pretty wild.
Jesus.
That was nuts. I was 20.
How did that happen?
I was living in San Francisco, going to school out there, and the Muni, when it's above ground, it runs with traffic. So you cross the street to catch it. And it's not like these big, like, ding, 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 ding. It's like it's like a light, and you just cross, and it's a little island.
Yeah.
And you get on it. So I was crossing the street to catch the Muni, and it took the light. And then I'm okay, I'm here.
I mean, you have a sense of humor, which is and a great sense of humor, which is unbelievable. But you're college age, Were you there for school?
I was there. Yeah, I was going to San Francisco State as an accounting major, which lame loser. But yeah, after the accident, it was like a month at San Francisco General, then a month down here at Huntington Memorial, and then I moved in with my mom, and. Yeah, recovered, healing, physical therapy, occupational therapy, got my driver's license again, figured it out, went back to school, got a job, and then started comedy.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
That's amazing.
I mean, that's it. I understand the bite to your comedy a lot more. Do you know what I mean? Like, I do think that when something happens to you, like, there is a way to handle that and to still have a sense of humor. And I think, I don't know, I just think your stand-up is so funny. And I think there is like a stereotype that we think of as people in wheelchairs and that we walk into a situation, meeting someone or listening to them talk, and you really disarm that. You really are like, no, I'm not what you think. Guess what? I'm a party girl. I'm like, yes, you are.
Like, I love it. I love it.
I've been to Italy, all right. I've, frolicked in fountains. Like, I go out. I go to VIP. I was kicked out of Magic Mike Live. Like,
Wait a minute.
And the one in Vegas.
How?
Because I wasn't trying to give them back their clothes. And so they were like, she's got to go. Okay, it's not my fault. They asked me when I sat down if I wanted my beverage XXL, and I just thought it was going to be like an extra shot. I didn't realize it was going to be a goblet the size of my head. Okay?
You're like, so I was wasted because of you, and so I didn't want to give my stripper clothes back.
I was overserved.
So I get to keep the clothes as part of the deal.
That's what happens. Wait, but you were in a hilarious clip thing with BuzzFeed about like what it's like to date in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And it was so funny because we have always talked about how like there's like fat fetishists. I didn't know that there was like amputee fetishists. Yeah,
devotees. They're creepy.
Devotees.
That's what they're called. I didn't know either until I started doing online dating. I started, like after, like, I lived with my mom for a very long time, but like then I got my own place and I was like, all right, I'm ready to like put myself out there, gonna date. And I'm who I am. And so I put full body pictures of myself online on the dating profile. And I wrote, bilateral below the knee amputee, and I started getting messages from these like creepy dudes. Like,
but like, are any of them hot?
It's like, even if they were hot, I did have an interaction with one in real life. Because the messages they send are very like, oh, send me pictures of your stumps. Your stumps are so sexy. Do you know what it... One guy was like, do you know what a devotee is? It's kind of like being an ass man. It's like, it is nothing like being an ass man, sir. Like, I met this one guy, a humorist, which like, can you try to be funny? It's not a comedy show. But afterwards, he was like, you're gorgeous. You're funny. And the fact that you don't have feet really does it for me. And I was like, oh my God, I cannot run away now.
Yeah.
I am stuck.
I literally am stuck.
I am stuck. And like, I was just like, what? And then he was super gross, but I did meet him again. And then
and I did sleep with him.
I did not
and
sleep
I
with
use a
him.
condom.
I didn't sleep with him, but I did get fingered in a dark bar.
Nice. Okay.
But it was like, then he told me about his one-man show, and I was like, I made a terrible mistake. That was the thing. It wasn't that he was a fucking devotee. Because, like, the way he was, like, looking at me, it wasn't like he was looking at me. It was like I was a thing.
Yeah,
like, it was
it's
very
different.
dehumanizing.
Yeah, he was like, you're an
even
object,
though he's
yeah.
like, oh, you're beautiful and sexy. Like, it was just like, it was like,
He was like, show me your stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that's weird.
It's really fucking weird. It's not like, oh, I adore you. And I think like, you know, it's not like there's a person. It could have been anyone.
Right,
It was
yeah.
really,
Yeah. I think that I, for a long time, was afraid that anyone who could be interested in me was that.
Really?
Like, I had like such fat phobia about myself that I was like, everybody is, if you're into me, there must be something wrong with you and you're objectifying me. And it took like a long time to like undo that.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard even with like regular guys. Like my last boyfriend, who did a number on me. But it was like, he was the first guy that really was like, oh, I like you. Like me and my personality and stuff like that. And it's like, I am fat, right? And I'm disabled. And it's like, you know, internet dating is like usually the fat girl in a wheelchair is not the one everyone's like, ooh, I'm excited to go out with that one. It's like the guys that do go out, it's usually kind of a shitty first, not shitty, but just like a whatever first date. And I'm great and they're whatever. And they don't call me back. And then 6 months, 8 months later, they realize like they can't do any better. They come crawling back and it's like, no, you're a loser.
You're like, no, bye.
I'm amazing, actually. But like, I don't
love
know why
you.
you thought you could do better than this.
Yeah. Did you meet your ex online?
Yeah.
Wow.
I met him on OkCupid.
OkCupid actually, I feel like, is the one that has the best results
Well, I like
for
that.
what I've heard.
Not that you would try it.
I did try it, and I met a very nice guy, Jared. But we're friends, and that's
Sure.
it. Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate OkCupid and the fact that like there's like questions where it shows your kind of percentage match in terms of just like interests and
Yes.
hobbies and outlook on life and things like that. And you know, people fill out the profile more detailed. Like I can't like Tinder is really just for like meeting up people to hook up with because that's too much energy. It's hot or not.
Yeah, I watched this
that's what it is.
Yeah,
It's hot or
No,
not.
it is. I literally
It
watched a
is.
documentary about Tinder and about how
It's awful.
it's like making your brain addicted to
The swiping.
getting the match.
Yeah.
Like getting the match and then you're like, oh, I got a match. Let me see if I can get another match.
Yeah.
Like it's literally
It's the same.
it's like gambling.
It's
like
the same.
the same thing
It's the
as
same
gambling.
technology as gambling. Basically,
Yeah.
Candy Crush, except for it's human beings and relationships and sticking body parts into each other. Which maybe we should just not be have the mindset of gambling when we do that because that's
Yeah.
already a bad idea. Yeah. It's. Well, I think that it's great that you have that part of your life too, and like it's just so great to see someone who is so articulate and so like not afraid to just let someone have it about their own misconceptions. I mean, publicly in your stand-up too. I mean, you probably like change a lot of minds every time you go up. And by the way, guys, she goes up all the time. I am embarrassed.
Yeah.
I went to go look for pictures of her, and she had already put her appearance on her calendar on her website before I had even put it on ours because I had a crazy weekend. I was behind, but really, like you are going up every day this week.
Yes.
Like
Every
if you're
day.
in the
Every
LA
day.
I have
area.
2 shows, I think, on tomorrow.
I mean, it's amazing, and I think that you're doing. That's like doing the work, actually.
Yeah.
That's like doing really important work because of who you are and how you talk about yourself and your
Thank
experience.
you. That's wild. I don't know, because like also too, it's like, I tell pussy jokes. Like not that I don't think that like what I'm saying is important, but it's like, a comedian
But
is
that
like
you're
a
like a
professional
regular
clown.
person, like that you're not like, oh, I'm an amputee and now I'm like this victim. You're like, no, I'm empowered. I'm still a human being. I'm going to live my best life.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I think that is the activism.
Yeah, that is.
It's like you, like being
just
fabulous
living, yeah.
and showing the fuck up and being like, oh, BT dubs, I'm fabulous. Wait a minute, you're opening for Maria Bamford.
I am in Tucson. I'm so excited.
and I'm
And when is that? When is that?
That is on November 10th.
If you're in Tucson, November 10th.
You gotta
go
go.
get tickets.
Go see her.
I'm so jazzed. Maria, she's so incredible. She's so funny. She's been so kind to me. She let me open for her like 2 years ago in Los Angeles, and I'm flying. We're gonna fly together.
She's bomb.
She's
bomb,
amazing.
and her show has like the most diverse, true diversity on it that I've ever seen. Lady Dynamite, and I wanted to come back. When is it coming back? Netflix, tell us.
Yeah,
I love it. It's so good.
You gotta
Netflix
do
has been
the
very
campaign to get it to come back.
I
Yeah.
know.
That's true.
Those mofos. She's
So
genius.
tell us how people can follow you, find out where you're
Where are you going
Where are you
tonight? to do
doing?
comedy?
Oh, tonight I'm going to be at the Hollywood Improv. So if you're in Los Angeles,
go do it.
Come out to the Hollywood
Go
Improv.
meet her.
It's 9:30 p.m. Tickets are $10, but DM me, honestly. Like, hit me up on Instagram. Hit me up on
What's your
Twitter.
Instagram?
My Instagram and Twitter are Diva Deluxe, no E at the end.
Diva Deluxe, just one word.
Diva Deluxe, one word. DIVADELUX.
Nice.
So, and then my website is the Danielle Perez.
And you can like see all, and you're on YouTube too. Like you
Yes.
have all your
I have
stuff
stand
up
up, and then I have, I link to like the BuzzFeed video,
Yeah.
the Refinery 29. It wasn't just photos; there was also like a video, so I linked to that and all that too.
there. Yeah.
She's together. She has it.
She has it together for
Doing
sure.
the work, showing up and doing the work.
really
man.
jealous. Not together. You're an inspiration. Do you sing?
I do. My friend always makes fun of me. I'm like, I'm a soprano, and she's like, no, you're not. She's like, you haven't been a soprano since you started smoking.
Can you come to our big girl karaoke?
I would love to.
Yeah,
I love
Big
karaoke.
girl
I
karaoke. We're gonna
have
absolutely love karaoke.
Yeah, we're gonna do it for reals. We might even do it where we did our show.
Oh, at Three of Clubs.
Yeah,
Yes.
because they have a good space.
Please let me know.
for
I
that.
love karaoke.
We gotta
Yeah.
get an event together. We might do like a Christmas time fun ones.
I'm down.
I don't know. I'm having ideas, guys. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
We have to go.
Yes.
Next week.
Next week, yeah.
We have Shauna
Hammock.
Hammock, like a hammock.
Hammock.
Do you believe I forgot again?
Hammock.
I don't pronounce anything right, Danielle. It's
okay.
awful.
Hammock like a thing.
Yeah, hammock like an actual hammock.
Yeah, Shauna Hammock, that's literally how she told us to remember it, and I didn't.
Yeah.
Because I want her to be Scottish or something. But she is on Orange is the New Black, so she'll be here next week. So follow us at Plus This Show everywhere.
All across
all the
all
places,
things.
all of the
at
things.
Plus the Show.
At Plus
like,
the
subscribe,
Show.
share, love us,
Tell
send
your
us
friends.
questions.
We love it. Thank you for
It's
chatting
my
on
second to
Facebook.
last show, guys.
Yes.
And then the following week will be my last show, and we're gonna figure
November 1st.
November 1st.
Yeah. So
That's how it's gonna
tell
go.
your friends to all comment. We might have some special stuff happening that day. Whatever.
Surprises.
Thank you again, Danielle.
yes,
Thank
thank you
you.
so
Thank
much.
you,
We
ladies,
look forward
so
to
much for
hanging
having
with
me.
The hour
you.
goes by too fast.
So
It
fast.
really does.
Yeah.
This is a
Fast.
blast.
We needed
Yeah.
we needed 2 hours.
We
next
do.
time.
We did. We didn't even get to half the stuff we wanted to talk about, but it was too fun.
Yes. We'll see you.
Karaoke will be the bonus content.
Yes.
Oh,
Ooh.
yes. All right. We'll
Okay,
see you
we'll
next
see you next
week.
week. Love you
at
guys.
Plus This.